I'm Candace.
I'm Ripley.
And
this is Comicsplaining.
This is Comicsplaining. We are comic book nerds, but we don't read the same kind of comics.
That's the thing that I always like about reading comics is like no one's really an expert of all comiix. You just read what you like, and then someone else comes to the table and is like, well, this is what I think about that. And it's like, well, that's great. Little did you know I read all of the X-Men. Fool.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like people who don't read comics tend to think of it, especially the superhero genre, they tend to think of it as being kind of a monolith, when in reality there's a lot of different subgenres. Like, we both read Marvel comics, and even just the stuff that we read is completely different.
Right, I have read maybe 20 issues of Thor over, like, reading all the X-Men stuff that I have read, which, like, despite my saying, I have read all the X-Men, there's actually a lot of appearances, smaller appearances that I haven't read. It's something I'm working on right now, but it's not, like, something I have a lock on just yet.
Yeah. So, basically what we're going to do is we're going to take turns explaining to each other the comics that we read. Ripley's going to be explaining the X-Men, and I'm going to be explaining Thor, and we're starting at the very beginning and going chronologically based on when they were published.
Yeah, we're gonna have, kind of different approaches to how we're gonna go at this, because I'm doing a team book, so not to mention the X-Men took like a, 7-year break. I feel like it was shorter than 7 years, but I'm not 100%.
Well, Thor had a couple weird breaks too, so.
When was that?
Well, after Ragnarok, he was dead for a couple years.
Yeah, that's true. I did forget about that.
Yep. That did happen. I mean, we could just play it by ear. We'll figure it out. But yeah, hopefully you listeners, hopefully if you've read comics, if you haven't read comics, if you want to read comics, hopefully we can give you some information or maybe just a chuckle, I hope. Maybe we're just funny to ourselves. I don't know.
I know I'm only funny to myself, so.
You're funny to me. It's fine.
You have a bad sense of humor.
I do. That's why I'm afraid that we won't be funny, but we can try.
That's okay.
That's what matters.
That's what matters, is that we sucker you into an hour of it anyway.
Yes.
Okay. Now, yeah, an hour is what we're shooting for, but we're not 100% sure just how long this is going to go. We're shooting for today what we're shooting for is the first 3 episodes in my reading list.
3 issues.
Yeah, looking for the first 3 issues. I am using the complete Marvel reading order to kind of get a chronological order going. There's a lot of things I'm going to skip if they're not big appearances, like also skipping over an early Avengers appearance where the X-Men show up for like one panel to be like, hey!
Yeah.
And then promptly fuck off.
Yeah. If you're a current comic books reader or someone who wants to get into comic books and you don't use the complete Marvel reading order, you should. We're not sponsored or anything, but if CMRO does want to promo us, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, it's a really handy resource if you decide that you want to read one thing in order.
Yeah.
Be that all of Marvel, or the X-Men, or
every issue in a certain event, or you can even look up things based on, like, location or items, which is insane.
You could find every single issue that Mjolnir was in.
You could find every single issue that Mjolnir was in.
CMRO, complete Mjolnir reading order.
Sarah, what are you doing?
So the cat
has joined us.
Behind the scenes, what you do not see is the cat climbing all over where we are trying to record. The microphone is flying around.
It's fine. Our audio quality will be amazing. It's fine.
Well, our audio quality is already set up to succeed. We've got you holding the mic in between us. But this is our first episode, so we're still kind of doing some tweaking on getting our general setup. I have a table that we plan to use Not for the next few episodes. The next few episodes I'm actually going to be away, and we're going to be trying to do this over Skype or Discord more likely.
We don't use Skype anymore. No one uses Skype.
Look, I said Skype like Kleenex. You can be getting puffs. And it's still the same damn thing.
Oh my god.
I don't even have Skype installed on here.
No, I don't either. Okay.
Anyway.
So this episode is going to be Ripley talking about the X-Men, and then the next episode is going to be me talking about Thor. And then the next episode will be X-Men, and so on like that.
Alright. So anyway, our first issue of X-Men is...
Yeah, you want to say the release date and who worked on it?
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Cool.
So X-Men number 1 is Jack Kirby and Stan Lee.
Of course.
Yeah, most of early...
in the 60s, yeah.
Most of early Marvel, or early in the Marvel age anyway, not necessarily way back.
Mm-hmm.
But we do actually have one Steve Ditko issue in there, and I am going to comment on there when we get to it.
Oh boy.
It's not necessarily bad. I have some good things to say.
Yeah.
Totally looks like a weird twiggy twink, but...
Yeah.
Anyway, X-Men number 1 from September 1963. On the cover date, it says it's July 1963.
The cat's purring into the microphone.
Good white noise.
Fantastic.
It'll block out the noise of our noisy neighbors.
Yeah.
I hope it picks up his purring.
I
That
do
would be
too.
Excellent.
That would be fantastic.
Anyway, so X-Men number 1, 1963. Jack Kirby, and Stan Lee. And so it mostly starts as getting the gang together. We have this nice picture on the cover of Giraffe neck Cyclops.
I saw that and I was going to comment. His head is amazing.
Eat your veggies or Giraffe Psych is going to stick his neck inside your house to eat them himself.
Jean doesn't have eyes.
Well, you know.
She's
telekinetic.
Yeah.
I don't know what that has to do with not having eyes.
No. And then Iceman is there. Early Iceman design is something else. It's really something to behold.
Just looks like snow.
Yeah, he just looks like snow. Like, very undefined.
Just like a walking snowman. It's actually pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we start off with Xavier brooding alone in his study, and then he demonstrates an important character trait that'll define his character forever. He's unreasonable and he's demanding. He's like, get in class right now, and if you're tardy, fuck you.
Oh, God.
That's how we start off. So that's the thing, like, people don't get about Professor X when you're first starting reading X-Men comics, if you're coming at it from, like, the movies. Because I grew up with kindly Grandpa Patrick Stewart, Professor X. It's like, wow, that's great. I guess I know who I can count on. Then open the book. That's literally the first 2 panels. You're not in class soon. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Paraphrased.
Yeah, of course. They wouldn't write fucking My Good Christian Comics.
So, Iceman, like, descends a fireman's pole down from nothing. It's literally hooked to nothing.
Yeah, can we talk about the fact that Iceman is naked except for a pair of rubber boots?
Well, at some point later, not in this issue, he does melt and show that he's wearing tiny yellow briefs underneath, too.
Oh, fantastic.
So he's just got undies and boots. Actually, makeup, we'll get there when we get there.
Why is the snow over his undies but not over his boots?
I guess he iced up, snowed up barefoot, and then put his boots on for traction.
Wait, why is Angel flying in an enclosed room?
As one does.
And, Cyclops is just, like, approaching very slowly.
Wait up, guys!
In the background.
I really want to know where the fuck Bobby is coming from, unless he is just twirling in place.
Yeah, well, you know, as is his wont.
You said come here. You didn't say what I had to be doing.
Yeah.
So promptly, things get weird with the X-Men, like, all right, we're going to put you in a comfy recliner, prop your feet up, put a blanket on you. Well, we're here to practice, but, like, we want you to be comfy. So...
Angel is just hovering, which is not how wings work.
Au contraire. Look, Stan Lee's grasp of science is...
Oh, I know, trust
highly
me.
dubious.
Oh, we're gonna get majorly into that in Thor comics, okay?
Oh, I'm looking forward to it because, well, in this issue, if you've looked at the cover, you will see that we are facing a villain who is in line with one of Stan Lee's favorite science concepts, magnetism.
Oh, wow, I can't even guess who it would be.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's a surprise to everyone.
Well, that's on the front fucking cover. It may not have been in my clips here, but, like...
It's fine, keep going.
Yeah. There's not all that much to say about the training sequences, except it's just weird. There's just a lot. Now, one thing to note is that we are on page 2 by now. Professor X has not spoken yet. He's just telepathically talking to everybody in the house. With luck, once he gets his skills down, he will never have to talk to any of them ever again.
That's the ideal.
Fucking teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
Don't any of you talk to me either. That's the ideal. Except then you get teenagers backsassing you in your head.
Yeah, that would be even worse than them doing it out loud, honestly.
Right, because all the shit you think and don't say, this poor sucker has to hear anyway.
Yeah.
This bald-ass Mr. Clean-looking motherfucker. How are you doing, Professor? Bald-ass. Yeah. So he'd be quite pleased with that if he managed that all together. He's like, allow me to congratulate all of you. You're receiving my thoughts perfectly. Soon there will be no need for me to speak aloud to you at all.
Holy shit, he actually says that.
He actually, well, says. So he puts everybody through their training. It's all kind of dangerous equipment, but I guess they are training to be superheroes, so dangerous equipment, it's just kind of par for the course. Sends Angel through a flame obstacle course, if I recall.
Oh boy.
And no, it's not this issue. Whatever. So then it's Bobby's turn. We get Beast and we get Angel, and they both go through their course. And then it's like, all right, well, it's Bobby's turn. He's like, all right, well, you have 5 minutes of free play, and we will deal with this later. It is established that Bobby is the youngest of the bunch. The exact ages of the X-Men kind of slide around. In this issue, it said that he is 16. In future issues, other X-Men are also 16, so he is probably younger. It really floats around exactly how old they are, unlike a lot of other... Like, when I read Spider-Man, it was clear he was 15.
I think Spider-Man might be the only one where it's clear what age he is.
Well, that's fair.
Because having read both Thor and Iron Man, I have no idea what age anyone is.
Well, Thor
is complicated, but Tony at least should have a concrete age, and he doesn't.
Tony is businessman.
Yeah.
That's an age.
Yeah.
So anyway, Bobby decides he's gonna clown around Iceman, just clown around. He's like, I'm gonna be a snowman. We find that he conveniently just carries buttons and carrots, and I think that's a lemon peel, unless it's a super early Pringle. In his pocket. It's like, I'm gonna be a snowman, and Professor X is like, great, he's off guard, throw a bowling ball at him, Beast.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
And then they proceed to just go at it for a bit. They're going at it for a bit, and then he is like...
I like how this is all taking place in what appears to be a room about the size of our living room. Like, I get the sense that they intended it to be much bigger, but it doesn't look like it at all.
There's not much in the sense of perspective.
Mm-hmm.
That's fairly common for this age, but still, you don't get the sense that there's like high ceilings or anything, which you do get with later X-Men iterations.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so these two are clowning around, and Cyclops hasn't had his turn for his test, so Professor Xavier's like, all right, your test, put your enemies out of action without causing them injury. Attack your classmates. Which is like, I guess, par for the course after Bowling Ball Beast.
Yeah.
And it's like, alright, you're the oldest beast, so you're the first. Yeehaw! Says yow, but fuck
He
that.
does yow.
Well, I wasn't talking about him. I mean, I did imply that Cyclops said yeehaw, which he absolutely did.
Did he?
No.
No. Okay.
And he blasts him into the wall and then starts blasting Ice Cube Boy.
Ice Cube Boy. That's his name.
That's his name now, yes. So now while they're fighting, he tasks Angel to join Iceman to try and bring Cyclops down. It's just to follow the leader of attacking your classmates on the professor's orders. This goes on for a while.
This man is allowed to teach children. Just fucking dogpile on each other. Do it now!
Just engineering a brawl for no good reason. He does this actually multiple times. Not in this issue, but just throughout these early issues where it's just like, we take breaks every once in a while for some light teenage roughhousing. Mm-hmm. Charles thinks it's good, builds character.
Sure, I guess.
Need to get that energy out of here before they wreck my mansion.
Oh my god.
This would be sliding down the banisters and all kinds of shit.
What better way to do that than to have them try to kill each other?
It's really the best way.
Yeah.
So he finally decides that he is going to start talking now.
Oh boy.
You've all mastered reading my thoughts perfectly, and now I shall return to normal speech communication. Like, isn't it your job to make sure you're projecting right, not their job to make sure they're reading you?
Yeah, that's not how telepathy works.
Yeah. So, you may be interested to learn that at this very moment I sense a taxi approaching our main gate. Within that vehicle is a new pupil, a most attractive young lady. You see, the bunch is not complete yet. We need the girl.
We need the token girl, and we have to immediately talk about how hot she is, because we have no other identifying qualities.
She actually is pretty cool when she shows up, but first we get to see all the boys wolfishly like, wow, a redhead, look at that face.
Except Bobby.
Yeah. This is where we get fake X-Men fans who like to say there was no sign that Bobby was gay ever before this. Meanwhile, X-Men #1, a girl, big deal. I'm glad I'm not a wolf like you guys.
Yup.
Gee, we never had any idea.
There's no hints whatsoever. It was completely out of nowhere.
I've got a whole tag in my private server of different things that's just like, gee, there was no way this could be read as Bobby being gay all along.
No, never.
Nothing like that. So anyway, Jean shows up and apparently doesn't know what kind of school this is. And Charles explains what the X-Men mean. That is why I call my students X-Men, for extra power.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that's some pretty Stan Lee dialogue.
I didn't know that's what the actual origin of the name was. Extra power. It's like the fucking X Games. Holy shit.
Is that what the X Games are stand for? Extra power?
Extra games.
The extra power games.
Oh god. I'm losing my mind.
Oh, he explains that this school is for mutants who possess extra power. The extra power men.
No.
And then we finally kind of get the real names of everybody here. So I introduced that Beast is Hank McCoy, sometimes known as Henry McCoy. I don't know why Hank is short for Henry, but apparently that was just how it was, because there's also Hank Pym.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how Henry shortened his Hank, but whatever. And we have Bobby Drake, the Iceman, Scott Summers, who is not known in this comic as Scott Summers. He is known as Slim Summers.
Oh, that's his legal name.
I have to wonder if he put him up to it. It's like, there's going to be a girl coming, Professor? Can you tell her to call me Slim? She'll think I'm very cool if she thinks my name is Slim. Because Slim is a name for cool guys.
It's a cool guy nickname for cool guys.
So Cyclops, Slim Summers.
God.
And Warren Worthington III, the Angel. And then he just decides off the top of his head that Miss Jean Grey here will be known as Marvel Girl. He picked all these nicknames. I've wondered how he came up with them. You gotta feel for poor Beast.
Honestly.
It's like
so rude.
Like Cyclops too. It's like, we're gonna name you after this thing you're super self-conscious about.
That's how we do it.
You, kid, you're Beast.
Beast.
I mean, if this was coming out these days, I guess you could say it's like, oh, he's a beast.
Yeah.
Beast mode. But like, where is the complimentary choice of Beast in the 1960s?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know about that. So anyway, the boys are slobbering all over Jean. Can I get your chair, Jean? Can I dote on you, Jean? Like, wow, she has one very obvious power. The power to make a man's heart beat faster.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's some corny dialogue. So Scott
That's our man Stan.
Scott is bringing her a chair, and she's finally had it. Because after one, Hank, I'd bring her the whole room of furniture if she asked me.
Oh my
it's
god.
like, I'll get my own damn chair. Telekinetically yeets the thing over to her. I suppose that's more of a yank than a yeet. A yoink.
Yoink. Yoink is the opposite of yeet, as we all know.
So she sits herself down so she can continue talking to the professor while the boys just hover around like, wow, it's a real live girl.
Oh my god, I've never seen one before.
I mean, this, I feel like, is fairly on brand for teenage boys.
I guess.
The dialogue's bad, but this is not the worst thing.
It could be worse. It will be worse.
It will be worse.
It will.
Scott is puzzled by the moving chair. I don't get it. Jean explains the concept of telekinesis. She hovers a book. I don't actually have the clipping of it on here, but she hovers a book to show everybody what that is, even though they just saw the chair yoinked.
Okay, by the way, if you've never read Marvel comics from the 60s, let me just tell you how extremely dense they are with words. It's, like, insane. There are so many fucking words.
You say that now, we haven't even gotten to Chris Claremont, but he's got a certain flow to it, or it works, but yeah, it is really just like sitting down and reading a book with a bunch of goofy exclamations.
Yeah.
Because supposedly Stan Lee thought that things with periods were boring. And so made an editorial decree. I don't know how accurate this is just something I've heard. Made an editorial decree that there just have to be exclamation points all the time.
Holy shit.
So if you're reading through that, but when I was young, normal people feared me, distrusted me. I realized the human race is not yet ready to accept those with extra powers. So I decided to build a haven, a school for X-Men.
You know, I kind of believe it. It seems right, honestly.
Oh, he's looking like a real bald-ass cue ball head here.
Yeah, he also has those weird eyebrows that curve upward at the end.
Professor Xavier and Namor, weird eyebrow club for life.
Loki has those sometimes, too.
Loki, that is fair. Loki, Namor, and Professor X come to their weekly eyebrow grooming club.
Yeah.
Discuss new techniques. So yeah, that's the purpose of the X-Men. In case you didn't know, it's for training young mutants, helping to teach them, and to help protect everyday humans from the evil mutants.
They're evil mutants.
There are some evil mutants.
They're evil.
So, apparently Hank has not quite learned that Jean does not want to be pawed at or treated like an object, so
Holy shit.
she's got to teach a motherfucker.
Oh my god. He literally is just touching her.
Yeah, so she picks him up, spins him around, and dumps him on a couch.
You know what? Good for her.
That's what I'm saying, is that Jean is not, even though she is like the token girl of the group, she's not treated as badly as some.
Janet.
Yeah. I mean, we run into some shit, and she does have a lot of
I'm a girl.
Yeah, but she can handle herself, and she doesn't want to put up with being pawed at, slobbered all over.
Right.
And I do appreciate that. So, end scene, and Now we have a new scene. Enter notorious lurker Magneto near Cap Citadel, where the government is ready to launch the mightiest rocket of all.
Oh.
By what metric? It's not exactly clear. Is this the biggest rocket? Is this carrying something special? Not clear. Magneto does not make this clear. The government does not make it clear. It's just mighty, mighty missile. And so Magneto doesn't seem to express any clear goal with this. Just that he is going to show his power and make Homo sapiens bow to Homo superior. So he destroys the missile. I guess it's a missile now. It was a rocket a minute ago, but it is a missile now.
Yeah.
I guess it makes sense because, a missile is a type of rocket, I think, but it's kind of a subset, superset thing where, all missiles are rockets, but not all rockets are missiles.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I'm thinking about it. So he destroys it and chucks it in the sea. Apparently he has done this 6 times before.
Oh my god, and they haven't stopped him yet?
They haven't done anything about it. Just chucked it in the sea.
Jesus Christ.
I don't actually know where Cape Citadel is supposed to be. If that has ever been made clear to you, by all means tell me.
Never even heard of it.
Yeah. For a long time until I reread this, I just assumed it was launching down at Cape Canaveral.
Yeah.
But apparently not. So anyway, later we will explain some contacts, and if you by any chance know where this is by all fucking means, let us know. I don't know. This has happened 6 times now, and then Magneto shows up to start menacing the base proper. He takes control of all kinds of military hardware, launches another missile into the sea, chases some soldiers with a tank and their own guns. He's having a time of it. He shows up and shows off his sky calligraphy, complete with a beautiful signature made out of dust particles in the air.
You know, I think that Magneto really just wants to show us the error of the military-industrial complex. He's, Comrade Magneto.
The hero we knew all along. This is not the first time Magneto does something awesome.
I think maybe he's the hero of this story at this point.
Yeah, we haven't...
Stop wasting money on stupid missiles! Purr! Into the ocean.
Also, he practices his calligraphy, and you gotta appreciate that.
Yeah, it's lovely. I like how he signed his name.
I do too.
It's very clean. It's legible.
Looking pretty good for something constructed out of metal particles in the air.
Of course.
I mean, I guess he's got the control for that. So, he's been pretty peaceful and hasn't actually hurt anybody through this whole base takeover. He just chased them around with some equipment and threw another missile into the sea.
Sure. Peaceful protest.
Magneto's the good guy. So he takes over this base, and no one manages to so much as touch him. He puts up a force field, rounds them all up, all with magnetism, and it's like, alright, whoever you are, if you've got something to say, you've got 60 seconds to say it. It's like, wrong, General, I have all the time in the world. And now I, the miraculous Magneto, claim this entire installation in the name of Homo Superior.
The miraculous Magneto.
Like he's a magician.
Yeah.
So, he's got all these guys, it's like, this base is mine now. So, no one manages to touch him. And scene, Magneto has taken over the military base. Mm-hmm. The hero we didn't know we needed at the time.
Yeah.
So, end scene, we are back in Westchester, back at the school where Jean is trying on her new X-Men uniform, her extra power men. It's like, wow, whoever designed this uniform could have given Christian Dior a run for his money. It is important for me to note that the X-Men uniforms are like a romper over a bodysuit.
A blue bodysuit, a yellow romper, And Jean has this horrible mask/hood thing.
Well, they all do, but it...
Okay, well, hers is the worst because her hair comes out of it.
Right,
Which
exactly.
makes no fucking sense. Like,
anybody with long hair should know that that is not something that you want to do. She takes off that mask, I guarantee her hair is a mess.
Like...
You get tangles and mats.
The mask goes all the way up her neck and over her head, and there's like a slit at the back that her hair comes out of, and it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
It really, truly is. While the boys are, again, absolutely horn-dogging out from the fucking doorways, like, slobbering. Wow, she looks like she was poured into that uniform.
What the fuck?
Where did the new doll go? Oh, there she is.
Oh my god.
Peeking around the corner like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, stacked up Three Stooges style.
So, I don't know anything about fashion, but apparently Christian Dior can be given a run for his money by a romper over a bodysuit.
Yeah, Jack Kirby knows what he's doing, clearly. He should have been a fashion designer.
He really should. Let's see. So Charles tells them it is time for their first mission because he has found out about this situation at Cape Citadel. So here we get Bobby's ready routine. All I gotta do is ice up and put on my boots.
Sure.
It's a good thing he didn't put on his boots first and then ice up.
Then there would be ice over the boots.
Yeah. Slip sliding all over the place.
Ooh, slippy.
So, anyway, I have this headcanon that Angel is trans. It's hard for me to explain all that much because the metaphor doesn't completely work, and I'm absolutely sure that it wasn't what was intended.
Who cares? It's not a headcanon, it is canon.
But, like, he's got this binder that he wears under his suit and his just normal everyday clothes to bind his wings down so people don't know that he's a mutant. And, like, there's just something that really resonates with that experience that I'm just like, wow, it turns out Angel is trans.
Yeah, it's very, like, go look at it and you will definitely agree because there's no other way to read it.
Yeah, we will put a clip of this up.
Yeah, we can post it on Twitter.
Yeah, so anyway, the X-Men take a private plane down to Cape Citadel to go deal with this Magneto situation.
The cat's tripping while trying to get off my lap.
Yeah, he left and then he came back and now he has left again in true cat fashion. So the X-Men show up. I don't know if the military knew they were coming necessarily. Somehow they managed not to be shot by just walking up like, "Hi, General. I represent the X-Men. Perhaps we can help."
What the fuck?
And, like, they do seem surprised, so, like, balls on you, Cyclops.
Yeah, ballsy, I guess.
Yeah. The General is like, well, we're not having any fucking luck, so sure, take a crack at it, random teenagers.
Yeah, that's normal.
Fuck it. Now, in true teenage enthusiasm, they just bowl over the soldier.
Oh my god.
Jean literally picks a bunch of them up. Hank leapfrogs over one of them. They just
So
make
unnecessary.
menaces of themselves. So they run in. Magneto has this whole area surrounded with a force field, but Cyclops manages to burst through it with his blast just by going full blast. But the amount of power it takes just knocks him out, so Hank picks him up and carries him under his arm like a football.
Yeah, of course, as you do.
As one does. So Magneto decides that after not hurting any of the soldiers, this is what needs a
These
proper
random
overreaction.
teenagers in spandex.
These teenagers fire these interceptor missiles
Yep.
throughout the base. Take them down. So they're doing their best to dodge, and we are back to Stan's very dubious grasp on science here. The missiles are heat-seeking, so they're following Angel around. I don't know, apparently Angel is hotter than anyone else.
Yeah.
But little did you know with your faulty science that cold is attracted by speed.
Yeah, so what this panel says is, just as the Hunter missiles are attracted by heat, so are the Iceman's ice grenades attracted by the missile's speed. Which is...
Bullseye!
It's not just a dubious understanding of science, it's complete nonsense.
I really do love this concept that ice is attracted by speed. So, like, planes in the sky are probably just followed by columns of ice.
Jesus Christ. Maybe it was supposed to be a joke, and what he was saying was that he was throwing the ice balls so good that it was like they were attracted. No, this isn't working.
It doesn't make sense. Not that the original thing made any sense.
I tried.
Anyway.
I tried.
You did try. So anyway, the X-Men managed to evade the missiles and get close to Magneto, who, again, goes over the top and ignites a tank of rocket fuel and hurls it at the X-Men.
What the fuck?
Bobby makes an ice shield, and then Cyclops tunnels them out from Magneto's trap. And after one more small confrontation with Magneto, he flies the coop, and the X-Men have saved the day, kind of. Sure. They saved the military base. It's really kind of the opposite of saving the day, considering Magneto was yeeting all the missiles in the sea.
Yeah, honestly.
But they won!
They won!
Yay!
Yay!
So that was X-Men number 1. Let's try and do one more. I guess we're probably not going to get into my favorite X-Men issue.
That's fine.
And we'll do one more, and then we will try and wrap this up. I'm sure there's plenty we can clip in here anyway.
Yeah.
But whatever. So now we have... Next issue is X-Men number 2 from 1963. Also Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. Damn it, this means I don't get to get into the one with Steve Ditko. That's alright. Anyway, X-Men number 2.
We just have so much to say about comics, you guys.
Yeah.
You didn't even know.
So the X-Men are in the city, and the professor calls them back to school with a telepathic call. So we get some teenage hijinks in which...
What are they doing in the city? Just chilling?
Running around in their uniforms for no reason.
Oh.
Angel gets mobbed by women who think he's just adorable.
Sure. Why would you not?
We will get into some shit later about
okay.
Angel.
Okay.
And how he is... These are not the only women who think he's just the cutest thing on 2 legs.
Oh, God.
So he's being mobbed by women who want autographs and kisses, and Jean's like, I can help. So she picks up all the women and puts them on top of a movie marquee.
Sure. As you do.
Professor X told her apparently not to strain her teleportation powers.
What?
Stanley gets very mixed up.
I think he meant telekinesis.
He absolutely did, but he did not.
I mean, I guess it's teleportation of a sort.
Maybe this is just some other guy, because Dr. X, remember Dr. X told you not to
Dr. X? What the fuck?
I mean, there's supposedly this story that the reason so many characters' names are alliterative
is because he forgets them.
Yeah, so we get Peter Parker, whose name he has fucked up at least once in early issues.
Yep.
Peter Parker, Bruce Banner.
William Worthington.
Plenty of others I can't. Yeah, Warren Worthington.
Warren Worthington, I said William.
Scott Summers. Slim Summers.
Slim Summers.
But, like, supposedly that's the reason why so many names are alliterative, to make it easier for him to remind himself. So, temporary slipping on Dr. X is not that much of a surprise. Hank climbs a building and jumps onto a train to make his way back north.
Sure.
I didn't clip that because it wasn't all that interesting. Cyclops and Iceman are running, assumedly also to catch the train or some other way back out of the city up to Westchester, when they see a wall falling on some construction workers, and Scott blasts it. So the construction workers are actually pretty thankful, and they go over to Hobnob for a minute and say, oh, no problem, glad to help. Bobby apparently has the power set ability to turn gloves into ice cubes.
I see that. Just ice cubes, okay.
Flatten this one guy's glove and turn the other one into ice cubes.
That's how ice works.
That's how ice works. That's absolutely how ice works. What the fuck are his boots made out of?
I know.
So these two are running late because of this. and they ride it back up to Westchester in an ice cream truck.
Yeah.
With Bobby in the back, and the ice cream man wants payment for all the ice cream that he ate while they were riding.
Typical Bobby.
That ice cream eating, glove ruining fool.
He didn't eat them, he just stuck them onto his icy body.
Oh God, that's awful.
He just assimilated them into his ice.
I hate it. So he has called them here because he has heard of a new evil mutant menacing humanity.
Of course.
His name is the Vanisher, and the Vanisher runs into some of the cops that are absolutely the worst at their jobs.
He's called the Vanisher. I wonder what he does.
Great question. You're about to find out.
He's got a weird scaly outfit. That's one of the things that Jack Kirby loves to do is scales.
See, I didn't think about it in the scale way. I thought he was just wearing like a red quilt.
It's just a knitted onesie with a big collar. Oh my god.
Yeah, his collar looks like a snake's hood.
It does.
It's really confusing.
I like it better as a knitted onesie. It's incredible.
That's how I was looking at it, as like a quilt.
He's wearing his long johns.
So, he shows up and runs into the worst cops at doing their jobs. And they see this guy in a costume. It's like, boy, we get all kinds on our beat, okay, buddy? Why the get-up? There's no law against wearing a costume, and you know it. Now direct me to the Metro National Bank. I intend to rob it.
Oh, sure. That's what you do.
So they do.
So they tell him where it is?
They take him there.
Oh my god.
And they didn't even frisk him, apparently, because he has a gun. He didn't pull a gun on them. He just has a gun.
Oh my god.
So these guys are really bad at their job.
Jesus Christ.
So he has the gun, and he gets the money from the bank. Then the cops are sitting here like, he's really not with it. He put away his gun to count the cash. No chance of anyone getting hurt now. Let's take him before he starts cutting paper dolls?
What?
I don't know what
does that mean?
I really don't. I was baffled when I was rereading it last night, too. I don't know what they're
Cutting
all about.
paper dolls.
Some 60s slang that has not made it far enough for me to understand.
Nope. Or it could just be some nonsense Stan came up with.
Yeah. So he vanishes into thin air. My money, it's gone. Help! Police! Well, they were right there, and they weren't doing all that much
Yeah,
good.
they didn't do anything about it, so...
They helped him, in fact.
They did.
Like, I feel like...
Here he is again.
Conspiracy to... Does that count as conspiracy to commit a crime? Because I feel like it does.
I think so.
So, like, I kind of feel like that very much is a crime.
Yeah. But they're cops, so they won't get charged for it.
So they were super bad at their jobs.
Yeah.
Anyway, end scene, and we are back in Westchester. He puts them through their paces in the danger room to train a bit to be better at taking out the Vanisher in ways that really don't have much to do with fighting a guy who vanishes.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, Angel, you need to work on your lying.
I mean, that's the only thing you can do, really.
I mean, yeah, there wasn't anything noteworthy to clip, so I don't remember what he even did.
That's fine.
And then he has Hank work on his agility, and Hank falls down a hole, but saves himself.
Oh, sure.
So, like, most of this training really has nothing to do with it. We just needed some more zany teen hijinks.
Of course.
So, meanwhile, at the Pentagon, the Vanisher continues his habit of telling people the crimes he's going to commit before he commits them.
What the fuck?
He shows up and he tells the general on the scene he intends to steal these continental defense plans in a few days. The military don't bother to move the plans or anything. They just put like 4 guys around them.
Oh, sure.
Which is very useful for dealing with a guy who does teleport, unlike Gene. So the professor has a friend with the FBI, a guy named Fred Duncan. So he gets word of this whole the Vanisher.
I'm sorry, his name is Duncan or Donking?
Fred Duncan.
Fred Donking.
Duncan!
Donking!
I can't am to Michigan.
I know. Duncan, I get it.
Fred Duncan. And so
Duncan.
he calls the X-Men for help. American runs on Duncan.
American runs on Duncan.
So a few days later, again, the military did not bother to move the plans. They just put them under guard. And, I mean, you could put them somewhere else. You could take them to Fort Knox. You could take them to the local bank safe deposit box, so long as the Vanisher doesn't know where they are.
Right.
But they just leave them exactly where they were, pretty much, with like 4 guys. So the Vanisher goes to the outside of the building, but doesn't, like, leave. Apparently the X-Men figured that was his plan, so they find him outside the building and manage to get the plans away from him. And then they just kind of play keep away for a bit until he manages to get them back and disappears.
Oh, sure.
I don't know why they didn't just have Angel, like, fly off with them.
That would make too much sense.
Right. The Vanisher, for some reason, has sleeping gas. Also his gun, so maybe that's what the gun shot all along? Sleeping gas? And of course he manages to trick Marvel Girl. If he has to trick someone,
it's gotta be the girl.
Gotta be the girl. So he knocks him out, gets away with the plans, and the press gets a hold of this. They're like, wow, I guess the X-Men weren't such hot shit after all. For demanding a $10 million ransom from the government for the return of the plans. Professor X is talking to them about what happened, and he doesn't think they did all that bad, which, I mean, they are a bunch of teenagers, so
yeah,
they didn't do terrible. They could have done worse, I guess.
Nobody died.
Nobody died. And he decides that they are going to be returning to Washington, along with him, to stop the Vanisher. And he is going to show them that sometimes brute strength is not enough. Gonna go with brains rather than brawn.
Professor X? Really? I had no idea.
Yeah. So the Vanisher shows up to get his ransom, and pretty much immediately after telling the X-Men to fuck off, once they don't, Professor X just wipes his brain. Not just a little either, like a whole lot.
Oh.
Well, what has happened to me? I cannot control my power to vanish. What? What has become of me? What am I doing here? Who is this man who faces me? Tell me. Please tell me who I am.
This is horrifying.
Please do not harm me. I am weary, so weary. I must rest. I must think. Have to learn who I am, what I am.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so he goes complete...
That's fucked up.
For, like, the complete brain wipe here.
Holy shit.
There's no fight. He just takes him out.
Holy fuck.
And then the X-Men quickly wipe the floor with his lackeys.
She's a magician.
Even worse, she's more dangerous than the others. Don't shoot, we give up. Please do something. I feel like a nut pleading with a floating gun. So the X-Men win. And that is X-Men 2.
Fantastic.
Alright, so you had some news today about what Marvel Disney Plus shows are coming out this year?
Yeah, so it looks like the first one to come out is actually coming out in a few days. Wanda Vision is going to come out on January 15th.
So I haven't been tracking any of these, really. I kind of saw the trailer for Wanda Vision, but do you know anything other than just, like, it looks like Wanda is bending reality?
I know a couple things. I mean, okay. First of all, I should say, I understand why people are not very jazzed about this show. Like, Elizabeth Olsen, that's her name, right?
Yeah.
Elizabeth Olsen is...
Fun fact, I didn't know that she was actually related to Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, but she is.
She is?
She's their sister.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
When you look at her up next to them, it's like, okay, yeah, I can see it, but I did not know that until a little while ago.
Weird.
Anyway, continue.
Anyway, MCU Wanda is obviously very whitewashed and kind of boring. And the actor who plays the Vision is like 5 times older than Elizabeth Olsen. And they're also not very compelling as a couple. Like, honestly, did anyone, when they watched Infinity War, did anyone give a shit when Wanda had to kill Vision? I don't think so.
It was a little sad, but there wasn't, like,
Mostly
really much build-up. The whole relationship pretty much just
It happened
built up off screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that doesn't make for a very compelling relationship.
Yeah, so, like...
You have no reason to care.
Given all of these things that are bad about it, I have to say I think the plot looks kind of interesting, actually. Because it looks like, and this is just my theory from what I've been able to gather, is it looks like after the events of Infinity War and Endgame, it looks like Wanda, like, starts tapping into her reality-bending powers and, like, creates this, like, fake world where she's living this idyllic life with the Vision. And I know a lot of people are very worried about the idea of Billy and Tommy being introduced because, like, obviously they're going to be whitewashed and probably will be straight, which sucks, but...
You have to wonder if that's the way they're going about it, or if they're going about her first twins before they were weirdly reborn into other people's bodies or whatever.
Well, I mean, that's what it is they bring it in the show and then they use it again later, right?
I think so. I haven't been following up on the news on these Disney Plus shows because I don't have Disney Plus.
Well, yeah, I don't either. I just see the trailers.
Yeah.
But, it looks interesting to me, I guess primarily because I'm interested in, like, the magic part of Marvel and reality-bending bullshit. It looks fun. I mean, despite the problems, don't at me. I know why it's bad. I understand.
You gotta watch something, though.
You do. Yeah, especially right now, in this day and age.
Tell me about it.
In these struggling times,
Shout out to our retail heroes.
Healthcare heroes.
The one that pisses me off is Amazon.
Amazon.
Like, these are our warehouse heroes. Like, and Pam.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's not get into all that.
Oh god, what's-her-face is gonna be in it.
Wow, what's her face?
Yeah.
She's in that thing I like.
Yeah, the one who was Captain Marvel and now she's not anymore. I can't remember her name right now.
What?
The black lady.
Oh, okay. God, I'm really blanking on names right now.
I know, I can't remember her name. Hang on.
I didn't know who else was going to be in that, though, so...
Monica Rambeau.
Oh, yeah.
Monica Rambeau is gonna be in it, which is cool because she got very sidelined in the Captain Marvel movie, even though in the comics she's Captain Marvel before Carol is.
Yes. Okay, I see what you were saying about the one who was Captain Marvel before you were talking about the comics.
Yes,
what?
of course. Of course I was talking about the comics.
What, did I fucking forget something from these movies?
No, I, like I give a shit about the fucking MCU.
Alright.
So yeah, she's gonna be in it. I don't know why or how, but she is.
Look forward to finding out.
Which is interesting, but
So what other ones we have coming? I know there's when's your Loki show?
Loki's gonna be the third one coming out. The second one coming out is Falcon and the Winter Soldier in March.
I do kind of want to see that one.
I want to see that one. It looks fun, but there's also some weird, like, imperialist bullshit in it, which tends to happen in Captain America stuff, whether you want it to or not, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the show does look interesting, and Sam is cool, obviously.
I don't know anything about it, but, like, first, yeah, Sam is cool. Second, I really do like Sam and Bucky's whole vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember when I watched Captain America Civil War being like, wow, I would watch a whole movie that was just these two on a road trip.
And that's pretty much what we're getting, I think. Which is what people wanted, but, you know, they had to fuck it up somehow, because it's Disney.
Whatever, you gotta watch something.
Yes, and then Loki will be out in May, and I could spend an entire episode talking about the one trailer for this show.
Don't, but give us a general rundown.
Okay.
Because, again, I really have not been tracking what's going on with these shows.
Okay. So there's one trailer out for the Loki show. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you go watch it because it's incredible. It's also completely and utterly incomprehensible. Like, no one knows what this show is about. So my best guess is this is obviously the Loki from Endgame who got the Tesseract, right? And with the Tesseract, this Loki has like gone to another place or time, because the time variance authority gets involved, which makes no sense because the Tesseract is the space stone, so it shouldn't be able to transport you through time. Although if you want to get really scientific about it, time and space are kind of the same thing. But whatever. I'm getting distracted. Anyway, so basically what this show looks like to me is like a really...
Well, maybe that's why they're into it. Time and space are the same thing.
Yeah, sure. It looks like a really silly, like, Loki going through various points of time and space, just doing, like, Looney Tunes style goofs, which is exactly what it should be, because I think Marvel does not lean into Loki being a trickster nearly enough, and I would dearly love to see that. I mean, I was kind of, and a lot of people were kind of hoping that it might be a kid Loki show, but, as long as it's interesting and funny, I think I'll be okay with it.
Alright, well, cool.
Yeah. And then,
There's the What If show.
well, there's Miss Marvel first.
Oh, see, I know that shows are happening. I don't know
Yeah.
about them.
So Miss Marvel, I mean, I don't know a lot about it. There's no trailers yet. I just know who they cast for Miss Marvel. I think she was a good pick. I know there's issues with that one as well, but whatever, I guess. I don't really know enough to talk about it, honestly.
Okay. I'm sure as time goes on, we'll hear more.
We will. And then there's the What If show, which is like the Marvel What If comics.
Yeah, those can be kind of fun.
Those can be fun. It's going to be animated. The one that they showed, well, they showed a few in the trailer. The one that really stood out to me was Peggy as Captain America.
Ooh, Peggy Cap.
Peggy Cap. There's also one where T'Challa is Star-Lord, I guess?
What?
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
That's quite a take.
It is. I don't know. I don't remember it.
But I'm intrigued enough to want to know more.
Yeah, so am I, of course. I'm interested. Yeah, and that's about it. I think that's all that's coming out this year.
All right. Did you have anything else or just that?
No, that's it. So we could start talking about, like, the boring stuff.
All right. Well, next week we are going to be starting
Let's say next episode, because we don't know if it's going to be next week or not.
Yeah, I meant to...
Especially with this runtime that we're getting into.
I directly meant to say next episode, and then I didn't.
It's fine.
That's what I get for drinking a beer, to get a little more conversational.
Yes. Next episode, we're going to be talking about the first couple issues of Thor. Well, I'm going to be talking about it. Ripley's going to be trying to understand what I'm saying.
Especially since we are not actually going to be doing this in the same room next time.
Yeah.
I am going to be on a trip for the next while. So we're going to be doing the next few episodes remotely, probably.
That's going to be interesting to figure out, especially since this is our first time doing it. So
Yep.
we're going to have to immediately figure out a different way to do it.
It'll be good, though. So what kind of social media and contacts do we have?
Yeah, so we have a Twitter account set up. We also have a...
So we are at Comicsplaining?
Yeah, well, I was going to say because we're the same thing everywhere.
Okay.
So we have Twitter, we have Tumblr, we have a Facebook page. We also have an email address that you can reach us at if you really want to. And on all of those things, we are at Comicsplaining, the title of the podcast. We don't have those pages fully set up right now. Maybe by the time this episode goes up, we will, but I don't know.
I will say that we will.
Okay, you think we will?
If I gotta do it myself, I will do it.
Okay.
At least to get them moderately set up. You're the one better with graphic design, so
Yeah.
anything that needs to be done on that end.
I know, I still have to, I got the icon done, I just have to make like a banner, basically.
We may get a few other different social media venues as time goes, and as we get things set up.
Well, we're going to set up a Patreon at some point.
Once we determine that we are absolutely committing to this, and this is continuing like this, we plan to, but we're going to play that by ear a little bit.
Yeah, so if you're interested in supporting us on Patreon, all of that money would immediately go to buying better sound equipment.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
I think our first plan would be probably a second mic and a mixer.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now we are working off of one mic. Next week we are going to be working off of one mic and a headset.
Yeah.
But the plan, rather than having a mic between us that the cat keeps trying to climb on top of, ideally we would have 2 different mics for the cat to climb on top of.
Yeah. Of course. We can't exclude him. And potential rewards that you could see in our Patreon would be maybe bonus episodes, outtakes, maybe Q&A sessions, maybe
smaller segments, potentially a Discord. I don't know if we would do that private or through Patreon, but these are all things. If you had any other suggestions, we would be glad to hear them on any of our social media or in our email.
Yeah, we could potentially do, like, video game streams in the future if we want to, and if people are interested. We could also invite friends to that, so we wouldn't necessarily both need to do that.
And we thank you for joining us this week. We will see you next time, and I will probably have a beer then, too.
Yep.
Thank you.